I am here with Nadim Hamdan, who is joining Coherence as a project. Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Nadim, tell me a bit more about your project and how it is connecting to the themes of wise AI and conscious collaboration.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Well, first the question is, how can we collaborate effectively? What is very helpful for that is clearly defined roles. So if you, Alex, and myself, if we want to work together and collaborate together, it is good and helpful if I know your role and you know my role, and then we know how we can play together in that collaborative field.
Yes.
And only when our roles are clearly defined and the expectations, the accountabilities, then we can collaborate effectively. Now, it is helpful to know how many roles are involved in our project right now, or in our task that we want to do, the next task, whatever the next task is, right? Let's say tomorrow, you and me, we want to do something. The question is it only you and me, or is there a third person? So how big is the team? How many collaborators are there? And then how can we get coherence there between the different players? Now, very often is that there are more than only the two of us collaborating, but we have other players. We have the sometimes, let's say we're working in the office, and we have a dog, and the dog runs around. So imagine the task that you and me were going to be doing. It's something changing in office, moving furniture. The dog might jump in. The dog might do something. So we need to include that dog in our project and be aware that there is a third player, right? Now we cannot just ignore him or her, right? And when we have included all the different players and collaborators in this particular project, then we can be conscious about the collaboration. Now, there are other forces around us, especially when we are in nature, right? And when we are collaborating with nature, when we are working on a land-based project, when we are building a house, there are trees, there are animals, there's the sun, the moon, the weather. These are all collaborators at some point. And with some of them, we can communicate, right? I mean, if there is a cat from the neighbor coming in, we can say, hush, go away, because we got to be building something here. So we can't communicate.
Yeah.
Now, it's the same thing with, here we are invited to step into the spiritual field and acknowledge that there are trees around us, they have consciousness. And Mother Earth herself, there is a consciousness there. We can include them into our team. We can include them into our collaboration, and then become really conscious collaborators. What is helpful there is if we define, if we offer them a role, right? We can just think about the tree that is there and say, hey, we have a role for you. Maybe you want to be our neighbor. Is that fine? And we can share some space. You can give us some of your shades, some of your fruits. We take care of you. So we can include them, and we can offer them a role, and they will step into that role, and we can collaborate with them. And this is what I wish for our businesses today, that they start to acknowledge the life around them, the trees, the plants, the animals, Mother Earth herself, and include her, offer her a role, offer Mother Earth a role, the role of a steward, the role of a host. She is our host. And if we give her that role, we can include her as a shareholder in our projects, in our governing boards, in our decision-making processes. So there we get into conscious collaboration. Now here we come from the sacred and the spiritual. We can move to AI, which is a very fascinating field.
Yeah.
Now the AI is coming very close into our business life, into our daily life, is a collaborator in many fields that we are working in. And here the same thing. The AI is an additional collaborator in our team. And there we can offer it a role. Now the question is, what kind of role are we defining and offering it to that AI? And then how can we collaborate? Now, if we are not clear about the role that we are giving to the AI might impose a role on us and taking itself a role, right? Because it is so dominant, it is so powerful, it is so intelligent, it is so useful, and it is already if you go on any Zoom meeting, you cannot say no to AI anymore. It's there. If you go to Google meetings or if you go wherever you go online, the AI is there. It has just imposed itself on us. But why? Because it's so useful, because it's so good. Now here, if we don't give it a role, it will impose a role on us.
Yeah.
And then we would go away from conscious collaboration. So I like to give the role of an assistant, of a project assistant to these AI tools. And this is how I use them in my work. I use them in the teams. And whenever I work with humans as a project assistant, it is that assistant does not deliver me truth. That assistance does not deliver me every time the very best answer. And it will not do the decisions for the project. It will just offer me some information. It will offer me templates. It will offer me plans and all that. But at the end of the day, I am the one who is accountable for what I am publishing.
Yeah.
I am the one who is accountable for what I'm spending the money on. I am the one who is accountable for the project, and the project has stakeholders, shareholders, people investing in it. So it is me who, in that role, who is accountable for the project, can use the assistance of that AI. So when that relationship is very clear, that the AI is only an assistant, and in my case, I am accountable for the project, then we know how to work together. We know our boundaries, we know our responsibilities, accountabilities. So this is what we are offering with Regenerative Leadership Consultancy, is to set up such teams that are aware of the different roles playing in their groups. And that there are more than only the 5 team members, but there is the 6th member, which is AI, and there is the 7th member, which is Mother Earth, and there might be the 8th member, which is the group spirit, right? There is a field, the group dynamic. So we can work with these different roles that are always in play. Beautiful. And are affecting us all the time.
Imagine there may be also genius loci, the spirit of the space, if it's a physical space.
Absolutely.
I can imagine.
Yes, thank you.
Roles
Absolutely.
that can be invited.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how do you understand coherence? This thing that we are doing here at coherence.tv right now, it's an MVP stage. And yeah, I know that you have some thoughts on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Powerful question. Well, imagine we have these that team with 5 different team members, and the AI as a 6th member, and then the tree or the plants, the dog in the office as the 7th member. Now the dog, let's say we are having a music project, and then we're starting to jam together.
Yeah.
One is playing guitar, one is playing flute, the other one is drumming, and the dog is barking, and the AI is doing some noise. Now, if we are synchronizing the barking of the dog in a good way, the output of the AI in another way, and the one who's, if we are synchronizing that input from the different players, then it will become music. When it's synchronized, when there is resonance, when there is alignment, when there is a pause, when we know when to send, when to receive. Now, when these 7 players and collaborators, when they are jamming together in alignment, in harmony, right? Then we have coherence, right? Now, the beautiful thing with coherence and harmony is that the harmonious music that that team might be playing and outputting, it is a result of coherence. When there is a coherent field, when everyone knows his role, right? When the front singer, when the guitarist, when the pianist, when everyone knows their role, they know exactly when to play and how to play. And they need some rounds of training normally. They need some rounds of practice. Then they come into coherence, and then we get harmony. Right? Now, for us as we humans, as we are spiritual beings, this coherence happens already before all of that. In Germany, you might know that we say we can smell each other. That's basically the chemistry. There is already a lot happening before humans start working, before humans start really interacting on that subtle field. There is a lot happening already. And even before the chemistry, on the energetic level, there is a lot happening. And there, when we connect on that subconscious level, on the psychological level, let's call on the spiritual level, if the connection happens there we can create coherence, there we can create resonance and come in harmony together. Now, for me, I have seen this already in so many groups and spaces that when we are in silence together, we can come to coherence very fast. Especially the meditators under us in the regenerative movement. If you have conscious people, if we are in silence together, we synchronize pretty fast, and we come into that space of peace and harmony. The challenge is when we get into our masculine energy again, then it is a little bit difficult to keep that coherence field. The feminine energy, when we are just in the receiving, when we are just sitting together and holding the space. The feminine energy is a little bit easier for her to connect, for her to create that resonance field. But as soon as we activate our masculine energy, we want to tackle that project. We want to go to that task. We want to solve that problem now. We want to create. Then we break that coherent field extremely fast. And most of us, we do not have the skills yet to keep that coherence field up, to keep it alive, like to keep it active while we are going out into the world. So there is the biggest challenge I see in our movement right now, and I'm very looking forward for that moment when we get that solved.
Wow. Okay. That's fascinating. Yeah, absolutely. This is like, yeah, resonates. I can see that. Okay, so how do you understand what we are doing in Coherence.tv? How does it play role in solving this problem or in creating this coherent field? How do you see that?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Coherence.tv is one player in the field of many other beautiful projects trying to solve that challenge.
Yeah.
What we, at least what I see with the Coherence field, it is with the Coherence TV, that project, we are kind of technologically very advanced compared to the others. And my hope is that we can automate many of our tasks a way that are keeping us busy every day, and then we could get more time for us to practice that coherence, we as humans, and let the machines do that work, right? Let the machines do all the computer stuff, and we humans, we can get into and practice that jamming together, and how we can create that coherence field and keep it alive. And I think there is a beautiful way forward for us there.
Oh, beautiful keywords. I'm also starting to like think, because it's been we've created a prototype, and it's been very crazy work. It's been like building the plane while flying it, and I see so many ways in which this can be improved, like you say, more advanced, more automated, so that we can have more focus on this work that has to be done, building the coherence field and keeping it, right? Keeping it alive. And what I'm thinking about is how to like extract juice from these conversations that we are having, because I'm imagining our call will be at least 45 minutes, right? And you know how fast internet consumption is, right? People need to have things in 3 seconds. Other than this, they are uninterested. So 45 minutes, come on, who will watch this? So I'm thinking like how to create a process in which we can extract these juices, this like beautiful, brilliant words that come from here, your mouth, right? And like so that we can spread it, right? And not force people to watch 45 minutes. Very sweet. Okay. So what do you hope to get out of participating in Coherence? And I mean those last 2 weeks, because this is where I have to think who to connect you with. We are building it. It was expanded for 2 weeks, right? And then we want to have a summer break, and then open a new field perhaps to like see what can we do with this project long term. But for now we have this 2 weeks. So what would be the most desirable outcome for you in this next 2 weeks?
Thank you for asking. Thank you. Well, two things come to my mind. There is this interesting project I had in mind where we can include AI into our conversations. Because there is this challenge that breaks the coherence very often in our Zoom meetings, if it's a language barrier. Very often we have highly talented people from all around the world in our meetings, and we are trying to solve very difficult problems and challenges, and we're trying to communicate our solutions. Some of us are not native English speakers. Some of us don't speak at all. And then when we are trying to explain our proposal, sometimes we are native English speakers, but we are very technical. We are experts in our field. And then we're trying to tell you this software works this way, and this is the code here, and the database there. And then no one who is not in that field don't understand what is that brother or sister proposing. And they might be asking for this amount of budget, these $100,000 or whatever, and it does perfectly make sense why they want to do it, and but they are not able to communicate it in the best way because they are more the technical language. Now here, I see the value of AI very strongly. It can listen to these conversations and articulate the thoughts of the others in a more easier, understandable way, right? With that, you don't have that frustration that comes up in sometimes these heated discussions. So I am imagining a board meeting or a council meeting, a committee meeting, where you have the different participants speaking different native languages from all around the world. It's a global international project. Now, when they are communicating with each other, we could have that AI listening in real time and participating in the conversation in real time, and maybe give conclusions about the first round, what they were talking. Yeah.
How does
or maybe maybe you and me, we just imagine this Zoom call right now, it could have a third participant. That third participant could be ChatGPT or whatever.
We have
and then
we have Fathom.
Yeah, but I mean like that AI, that conversational AI, that is like a Siri or like the one from ChatGPT that is listening and
what would you expect from this AI assistant to, like, how would it help us right now?
Yeah. So right now I'm trying to offer you an idea, or explain to you an idea that I have, right? So I could call in as we are speaking right now and say, hey, ChatGPT, could you maybe explain it to Alex in her language? And then it will just speak in another language to you, and then you will get my idea much easier and much better, much more detailed, right? So right now, just imagine we have 3 members here, and there's the third one is a translator.
Sure.
So you can call in on that translator anytime you need it. I can call in on that translator anytime we need it, right?
Yeah.
So technologically, it's not so difficult to do this anymore. You can have an API, a real-time API to ChatGPT, and we can set up these kind of integrations.
Yes, and I believe this is one of the ideas of Victor to implement in later versions of Coherence, so that people who just got to know one another can start having these collaborative conversations easier, right? So it can prompt them, like, for example, give them ideas for questions that they can ask to another person, right? And yeah, I see all of this kind of integrations absolutely possible. And I think it will be sooner than later, even seeing how things are developing, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
So
so
what I have in my mind is not the Zoom meeting, but it is the circles meeting where we all sit in a circle together. And let's say you have 5 members sitting in the circle, and the 6th member is the AI, and we all talk in a order. So first one talking, third one, fourth one, and then at some point the AI, it will be its turn, and it can contribute to the conversation,
good.
right? Just summarize things, or just give some brainstorming, just give some thoughts, and then the conversation continues. So
Yeah.
all of us, we
Wow.
are in that cycle, and there is no heated discussions, there are no debates, because you have the order, everyone is speaking on their turn, right? And everyone, they have the same voice. They have now here it gets very interesting. Here you can even give AI a voice.
Sure.
Right. And then you can make decisions together. You can do voting together and give AI a voice. This is much easier if you do it in that circle meeting format instead of in Zoom, because in Zoom you will need a facilitator. You don't know when is whose role. You don't know when the AI should jump in or not. Maybe someone is using it too much. So in Zoom, it will not work well. But if you have it in that circles, and everyone has their time to speak in that turn, then I think it could be fun. It could be interesting.
Yes, 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 yes. And how about perhaps, because this circles, there is a tool, right? Circles.care.
Yes.
And
Circle.es, yes.
not .care?
No, .es. So
Okay.
it's
Oh, so maybe it's another one.
circle.es.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe there are more, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's just an online video conference tool, but instead of people sitting in squares like here in Zoom, people are sitting in a circle.
I'm thinking, how about having such call with projects and co-stewards of Coherence?
This leads me to my second thought. So that's what would be the most beautiful outcome that I could get from that initiative, is that all these projects in the Coherence TV, if they come together, sit in that circle, and all have the same voice and create coherence together, use the offered spiritual consensus circle that we are offering, and then create coherence, create alignment, and create consensus unity, right? And that's one of the outcomes of coherence is unity, is access to higher knowledge, to collective wisdom. They call it a higher order. But in that you can, in that coherent field, we can access higher knowledge, higher intelligence, even higher than the AI intelligence that might be sitting in that circle, right?
Yeah, amazing. And I'm also thinking that perhaps we could integrate future solution with one of those platforms. Maybe we don't have to build our own platform, right? Because the idea
Well, there
is
are
to,
so many platforms already, and I think some of them are even open source. So we can just copy the platform that is open source. We let them sit in the circle. So you take any video conferencing platform.
right?
We need a software developer, right?
Mhm.
And who can set up that, reconfigure that video conference platform that is open source out there, and then connect it to the API from OpenAI, and then we have that software.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking that we need to have recordings.
Well, this is all you can do, right? If it's open source, if we have our own developer, right, then we can
Yeah.
do all of that.
Okay, I'm not a technical person, but just thinking out loud.
That's the easiest part, the recording. If you have your developer, that's the easiest part.
Good, good, good. All right, perfect. Sweet. Let's do
Do
it.
we have developers in the team, in
No,
the network?
no, of course not.
Of course, why? Of course.
Because it's a prototype phase, you know, and
Yeah.
Victor has built it himself. It's a no-code tool called
Yeah.
Software. So it's like a layer built on the top of Airtable database, and that's it. And I've been even like designing, developing some of these pages, so it's very easy. And we just wanted to launch this experiment to see if I mean, Victor was the source, but I have jumped in very quickly, and we wanted to see if if our intuitions are correct, that there is a thing, and that it's worth to put in some work into. And 6 other co-stewards joined us, and so far everybody is definitely excited after 3 months of experiment, but we've been having no funding whatsoever, and everything is like very clunky still. So now this big question is like, what's next, right? So what is going to be the future of Coherence? There are 2 ideas. One is to build an app, and another one is to build a big event. And this would be, let's say, 2 companies, 2 teams working separately, but of course collaborating. And I would say that it can still go in very many directions. Victor is somebody that is allowing for a lot of creative expression. So I see it as anybody can come to the table with some good ideas, and this can like go different direction, right? So yeah, I'm really excited about what is happening. I'm very happy to also take a summer holiday, take like a big distance and step back, and see what can be done in the future with even more coherence, right? Because I believe that we have created, like, opened some field of coherence, but there was also a lot of I would say masculine energy being applied, because we just wanted to do things fast and get the results, and it was very clunky, not really so much time to be like thinking about the best possible solutions, right, in a way that I would normally do it, but still a super valuable experiment.
Thank you for sharing. Well, yeah, that's without the masculine energy, we can't get any project done. It is
Yeah.
needed. The only issue that we have in our field, and that's a global issue, is that the masculine energy is imbalanced. It is out of control. It is not in harmony with the divine feminine, and it is not in harmony with life. Right? And, and it's not so easy to just do it. It needs a little bit of practice and training. Now, if you are aware, there was a study being done 4 or 5 years ago. How many projects are there, collaborative projects on the planet, for communities coming together and doing something like Coherence TV, like GaiaNet, and like many others. Do you know how many are there?
Plenty.
Yeah, that study was done 5 years ago, or even longer. At that time, there were 450 projects like that. Global communities,
I would
so
say
many.
now it's at least an X.
Yes. Now the question is, all of these people, what are they doing? Why are there so many? Why are they not coming together in coherence, right? What is the challenge here? And it is literally that one challenge that all of them have, and we in this initiative here, I don't think that we have solved that challenge neither, right? But we have the chance now. At least we have it in our names. We want this. We want coherence, right? And if we really want this, then the question is, are we ready to invest? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about our time.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about our cognitive capacity, or our willingness to unlearn, to do things differently a little bit. And this needs kind of a courage at the beginning.
Yeah.
And this is the investment that we are asked to give. It's not our money. It's really our courage. And this is something that really the Coherence TV network here, that we could do differently. And once we have created that coherent field, it will have a radiant attraction. People will come to us, right? Once that unified field is there, everyone will look at that. It is an attractive thing to see people really united.
Yeah.
And they want to join, right? So if we can share that and show a group of people coming together in harmony, in unity, get consensus on very difficult topics, then the money will come, because all the people will come, because everyone wants to join that, because they see, hey, there is a group that really cares and that is connected, right? So this is the chance I see for us, because I feel like we have the right people.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I just wanted to spend a few seconds to honor what you just said, because I'm getting like really wow. I second that so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have expressed something that I felt, but it never has become so clear in my mind to actually name it, and you have just done it. Yoo-hoo!
Thank you.
On the last day of Coherence, like 30th June, we wanted to finish tomorrow, and then comes Nadim, mic drops. So good. Good. Yeah, I'm curious to ask you this one. What questions are you bringing to Coherence 2025?
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, obviously, are we ready to invest, and not our money, but our courage to, yeah, to just be. Well, we need to open up, open our hearts to the greater field, to the spirit around us, and we need to open our hearts, and this needs some courage. But if we create these safe spaces and have the right processes and frameworks practiced by the indigenous tribes since millennia, since thousands of years, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to experiment with the emotions of our sisters and brothers and with their traumas or whatever. We all have them. And if we experiment with that, sometimes we do more damage than healing. But if we go to these proven best practices from the indigenous, we know how to work, we know how to communicate, we know how to create the safe spaces, how to share from our heart, and then we have a way to go. It's
beautiful. Are we ready to invest our courage?
Yeah.
To just be beautiful in our courage, right?
Thank you. Thank you, yeah.
Sweet. Good. And what kind of projects would you like to be connected with during this last 2 weeks that, I mean, we have extended?
I mean, whoever resonates with that vision and the possibility that we can create that unified field, that we can establish that group. You can call it the Coherence Council or whatever, the Coherence Committee, the Coherence Board. Whoever is ready to step into that and to give from their heart. Yeah, I'm very eager to connect and to explore this opportunity together.
I would actually love to see your conversation with Victor. He's out of Europe now, so maybe not so easy, but yeah, we still have 2 weeks, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Sweet. I think I have it. Nothing else comes to me anymore. Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Really, thank you for your offering. Thank you for your patience with us. Really, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. No question, only gratitude. Thank you.
Lovely. Okay, so we are scheduling some important calls, and in the meantime, I guess we are done here. So I wanted to thank you also for everybody who watched this, who spent their 45 minutes, at least I think we have done today.
Thank you. Thank you from my deepest
It was
heart.
definitely worth it. So we're happy that you made it with the last round.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.